Hello, everybody. I'm running a little bit late because I just posted, I just recorded a testimony that went a little bit longer than I anticipated. So, for any of you guys that have been waiting for me, thank you for waiting. I'm running, I guess, 40 minutes late. We'll see if anybody shows up. And this is why I would love to be able to have music playing so that you know that I'm here rather than my yapping my mouth until somebody shows up. Let's see if I can find some. Oh, maybe it works this way. 1 second. Actually, then it might be a copyright issue. Let me see. Let's see. It's November 23rd, 2024. It's 11, not 11, it's 10:49 p.m. So I'm running late. Hi, Billy. I'm good. How are you? I'm running late. Running about 40 minutes late because I just uploaded a testimony. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Has it snowed yet by you? We had some snow here yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I used to love snow when I was growing up. Like I couldn't wait for it to snow. Now I just look at it and I want to cry. Yeah, it's cold. Oh, hi. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I apologize. I'm late. I'm running 40 minutes late. I usually start at 10. But I wanted to upload a testimony that was given to me at the beginning of the month, and I just haven't gotten around to record it. Welcome, welcome. Please remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. So I also just uploaded a testimony. It's about 40 minutes long. So it's a subscriber who provided me multiple emails and some evidence, and I'm going to post the video, not videos. I'm going to post the some of his images, his photos, in the on the community page under the posts. I haven't done that yet. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. I see that there are 4 people here. Welcome. Yeah, it was I think it was 32 degrees yesterday morning, which means that it was freezing. And like when I walked outside, whatever snow that we had, you could see like a little white dusting and stuff and a little bit crunchy. And then, of course, it warmed up a little bit during the day. So everything got soggy, soaking, yucky, wet, no sun. But, they was spraying the skies like frantically for the days before. So it just, I was expecting something. I wasn't expecting snow. I thought it was just going to rain. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. Welcome, guys. So I'll wait for a couple of more people to come in because I'm sure like there might have been people waiting, knowing that I usually start at 10, and I'm 40 minutes late here. But I've got a section from a book that I started reading. I guess a couple of lives ago. It's called MKTech, Invasion and Mind Control, the technology of invasion, control, reading, and torture of the mind that will change humanity forever. It's by, this guy's got a really long name. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Good to see you here. I'm running late, unfortunately. I've uploaded a testimony that I've been wanting to do for weeks. And I just uploaded it, so you'll receive an alert. You should receive an alert that it posted. It's a really interesting testimony. There's some images there to educate people. And I'll post some of those photos that he provided on the community page under a post. So I'll be reading a section here in a little while from the book MKTech, Invasion and Mind Control. The author is Philippe Saboya de Santa Cruz Abreu. And I'll read the back of the book. I wish I could show you pictures here, but unfortunately, in this live chat, unless I download some software to link to it, I can't share a screen or anything. So this is what the author says. He was born in Rio de Janeiro, and he pursued a career in computer science as a systems analyst developer. And he graduated in the undergraduate information systems program and completed the postgraduate program in computer forensics and cyber expertise. Since 2012, the author has been engaged in the study of psychotronic electronic technologies and their effects on the human mind. So he wrote me an email. He just discovered a really good website by mistake, and it seems to be legit. Let me know what you think. Can you post it here in the chat? My comments get erased. I comment on other people's channels and they get erased. Like really benign things. And then I'll go back and try to edit a comment that I've posted somewhere else because it looks like some idiot wrote it. And it's like those are not my words. So somebody's like changing my posts, the words on my posts. Hi Paris, welcome. Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. I know I'm not erasing your comments. The only comment that will be held, so some comments will be held by YouTube. If you post a website in the comment section, it will be held. I believe so. I think you're right, Cheryl. I think they are in my account. Absolutely. I mean, they do things in my email. I've had emails deleted. My photos, I mean, when I lived in New Jersey, because I have a lot of cats and I photograph them all the time, I have all these folders for everything. And they went in there and they changed all of my photos. So they're no longer organized anymore. They're no longer in the right folders and stuff. Now, this can only be done by somebody externally. It's not me. I take a long time to set up folders and then they just disappear. Oh no. Oh, that's horrible. I believe you. I believe you. I've posted reviews on Yelp, negative reviews about the perpetrators, like the locksmith that I hired, who's a perp, the county lawyer, the assistant prosecutor. So I posted negative reviews on them. They all disappeared. Poof, gone. So I've realized that when I post something like really important, I need to save it first and then post it so that I at least have a copy of what I posted in case I want to repost it somewhere else. So I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, we were just saying like it is getting cold here. Like it was 32 degrees here yesterday morning. It snowed. I was horrified. I no longer like snow. Like when I lived in New Jersey, when it snowed, like it really snowed. Like there was one time, oh, it was unbelievable. Like it was bad enough like when I was married to have like 3 feet of snow. At least I had, another set of hands to help me shovel. But when I became single and I got 3 feet of snow, like I just hated it. So then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to move to Kentucky. It doesn't snow there. And I think it was like either the first or second year that I lived here, it snowed like a lot. Like it's like I actually had to shovel here, and I said I moved. I moved thinking I'd never have to shovel snow again, and I was wrong. So Yes, we would have to be a real cyber geek who can set up a PC, and that's not exactly not easily hacked. I was told so long as you operate Windows, there's no way to keep them out. Well, I have Windows, and I have like a really old laptop, and I've got a really old Windows. Like I have Windows 7. Like I've got an antique. I've got an old phone. Like everything's old. It's sort of like if it still works, why get rid of it? I don't hate. I hate anything that's called smart. It's bad. If it's smart, it's bad. Although my phone is not all that smart because I talk into it and it converts whatever I say to something really moronic. Yeah, when I moved here and I had to buy appliances, I had to buy a dishwasher. Well, I didn't have to buy the dishwasher. My mother bought it for me. Actually, I never use the dishwasher, so it's like a waste of space. I really should sell the dishwasher and put some shelves in there. Um, but the stove, the washer, and the dryer, I bought the dumbest appliances that I could possibly buy that were still available. They have no lights, no bells, no whistles. There's nothing smart about them. Um, totally dumb. And the ironic thing is that the washer and the dryer, when I bought them, cost less. They cost less than the other models, like the LG, the upgraded LG models and stuff like that. I mean, they look pretty, but I don't need all that stuff. I don't want to program. I don't need to be alerted that my laundry is going to start or end. I don't need that on my washer or dryer, my refrigerator. I don't need all that stuff. I didn't get a refrigerator with an ice maker. Um, so please hit the thumbs up, guys. I see there are 2 thumbs up and 7 people. So I'm so glad to see you guys here, and I apologize for being late. I usually start at 10. I started at 10:40 because I recorded a testimony that is uploaded. In fact, I'll post a link to the new testimony. Let's see. I'll post it in the chat here. And this is from a targeted person in Pennsylvania. Oh, wait 1 second. One second. So in case you didn't receive alerts about the new testimony that I uploaded, I just posted it in the comment section here. But I'm going to read some of this book. And this is a very detailed book. And it's actually quite alarming. That's why I put off reading. I put off reading. This is chapter 2.3. It's Syntel, synthetic electronic telepathy. There are several people listening to my thoughts and commenting on them inside my head. How is this possible? I can't think anymore. What's going on? I think I'm going crazy. This is a quote from an anonymous targeted individual in the book. Artificial electronic telepathy, synthetic electronic telepathy, or simply electronic telepathy consists of the use of the EMRVI, electronic mind reading, vocalized images to extract information. You hear that? extract information, content of thoughts, and the V2K to insert data, voices, and sounds in order to activate neural processes connected to hearing. Then, a totally silent conversation between the technology operators and the target takes place. In other words, it's possible to send messages to the operator with the thought alone and receive a response via V2K without anyone in the vicinity being able to hear what is being communicated to the mind, nor the content of the thought being amplified and transmitted. It closes, therefore, a complete communication style. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, guys, when you come in. Welcome, welcome to the chat. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. And he provides a figure, a loop of synthetic electronic telepathy. It's possible to send the contents of thoughts to the other side of the world in a matter of seconds and get a response from the receiving operators and from the thought analyzer program according to what was sent. The essence of the technology consists in reading, in a non-invasive and remote way, a person's thought, amplifying that signal using sophisticated instruments, capturing this amplified information, and sending it to receiving antennas at their destination. I mean, they're using us like as if we're like a device or something. This destination is a place where the data received will be processed in computers and systems specialized in A, transforming thoughts into images, B, transforming vocalized thoughts into text transcription subtitles, and C, turning the sounds the target hears, including their own voice and vocalized thoughts, into audio. It'll then send a post-processing response from that set of received parameters directly to the same person's brain using a microwave voice. The synthetic electronic telepathy, which they have in parentheses, SynTel, I guess that's their little acronym, if applied with the consent of the individual, which we don't comply, we do not consent, whose thoughts will be exposed, read, heard, and seen by others, can be useful in various fields for peaceful purposes, as it is a way to help victims of cerebral palsy or with communication problems or those who have lost their vocal cords. Oh, that's what must be what they're doing. They've been targeting the back of my throat and the left side of my tongue. So that when I'm speaking now, and you know, when you speak, your tongue moves and it moves like it against your teeth. Like I can feel the back of my tongue pressing on my teeth, where normally when you speak, you don't feel that sensation at all. So yeah, they love to torture people in different ways. I guess they don't like me speaking out, so they're going to target my tongue and my throat, which they've been doing. It'll then send a post-processing response from that set of received parameters directly to the same person's brain using a microwave voice. Oh, and by the way, you can hear some of those weird microwave voices. Look out for Charlie. The YouTube creator Look Out for Charlie has posted a few videos recently where you can hear these voices in recordings. He had one guy recording something. He was in a desert, and you could hear these metallic voices in the background because he was being followed by the technology. It's interesting, even for those with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is ALS, a rare neurodegenerative neuromuscular disease that paralyzes the muscles of the body without, however, affecting the brain functions. Stephen Hawking would be one of the beneficiaries of this technology since it would be possible to use a vocalized thought to communicate in real time with everyone using his computer that emits a traditional robotic voice based on reading of text. It also allows accident victims to speak again. So now I've said this before, like all of this technology that appears to be really wonderful. Yes, exactly. There's no ghost. It's all technology. That's exactly right. It's all technology. So even though like this book is explaining initially what the technology was originally created for, it was originally created to help victims, cerebral palsy victims, people who cannot speak for themselves, to utilize this technology to help them be able to speak. But as I've mentioned before, in order to test this technology, they usually have to test it on subjects that do not have the disease. And what they'll do is they will create the disease in an individual that didn't have it before and then use the technology to do it. So it's sort of like the reverse. And that's why the technology, even though it's originally utilized for the benefit of certain individuals, it's now used in the reverse for the negative torture of individuals just for their sadistic pleasure, for human trafficking, torture, targeting. Um, it's just really very sick. I feel sorry for whomever had to sleep with him. Yeah, exactly. So, following this line of reasoning, that is, of picturing creative uses of the technology for a perfect utopian world, imagine being able to talk to your partner without having to use your voice or mouth, without making a single sound, just using the vocalization of thoughts. Why would anybody want to do that? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? You and your loved one are at home, miles away from each other, amplifying the vocalization of thoughts and transmitting such thoughts directly to each other's brain via V2K. It would be as if you were talking on a cell phone without the device itself. Better yet, no one around you would hear the dialogue or even know that you're talking to someone. It takes a lot of practice to learn how to control vocalized thoughts and how not to send thoughts of momentary impulses or associative thoughts, which would be part of the cognitive processes in a normal conversation, but wouldn't be expressed in words. In the synthetic electronic telepathy, this is not possible. Everything that is thought is sent to the receiver. Imagine, and that's what they're doing with targeted people. Whatever we're thinking is being sent to some moron with a joystick and a computer laptop that are analyzing it, logging the information. I mean, our exactly. No one would have any friends if we could read each other's minds. That's for sure. Lots of people think things that are judgmental about people they care about. Well, that's absolutely true. And sometimes it's just momentary. You know, it's sort of like you can be in a relationship with somebody, or let's say you're a parent with children, and children are children, just like my guineas. Like, I love my animals, but I I look at them sometimes and think, I shake my head. It's like they drive me crazy. And, I think that, like, I'll even tell my roosters, you could be on somebody's Thanksgiving plate if you don't behave yourselves. So, but, I'm like talking to myself or I'm talking out loud, but that's my private thoughts. I love my roosters. Like, I wouldn't want any harm to come to my roosters, but yeah, they drive me crazy. So it would be wrong for people to invade your personal private thoughts. And the thing is, just because they're listening to your thoughts, it doesn't mean that you will ever act on whatever it is you're thinking. Sometimes negative thoughts or judgments are basically a way of better understanding a situation, at least at that time. It's making sense of something. And also, sometimes you encounter negative situations and it's not something you want to talk about. But maybe in your mind's eye, you'll say, you said those words like F him or, oh, he's acting like nutso. But you would never say that to the person because you really care about them. But at that moment, you're thinking these bizarre thoughts about the person. That it's quite normal. But these people have, these controllers, quote unquote, these controllers, they like to control everything into their narrative, whatever their false narrative is. But guys, if you can hit the thumbs up, I see there are 9 people and only 2 thumbs up. Come on, guys, hit the thumbs up. So it would be extremely useful and an effective tool for several and impressive peaceful purposes. However, it's only used for questionable goals such as torture, theft of information, espionage, illegal surveillance, fraud in civil service competitive examinations. Oh, that's a good one too. Terrorist attacks and murders. 7 lurkers. Oh, yeah, that's it. 7 lurkers. Well, yeah, so now I've got 3 thumbs up, 8 people watching. Well, there could be trolls, you know? And sometimes if we're saying something or having a particular conversation that they don't want us to talk about, the troll will insert themselves into the chat. But also sometimes people are not on a laptop, they're on their phone. Sometimes people are listening to the live and they're doing something else. They could be driving. So, they might not have the ability to get into the actual chat and type something. After all, it was conceived as a weapon of war, a non-lethal weapon by MK Ultra's programs around the world. The possibilities for using this technology are practically limitless. In addition to hearing and seeing the thoughts of the individual, it's possible to interact with them, making them know that their thoughts are involuntarily shared with third parties and causing immense discomfort and affliction, an unprecedented sense of mental violation. And that's how I feel about it. It's intellectual property theft. And the fact that, and there's so many of us that this happens to, where they will send frequencies to put you to sleep against your will. Hi, Ace of Cups, welcome. I started the live tonight a little bit late because I uploaded a new testimony. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated, so I had to push the chat back about 40 minutes. So we just started around, I don't know, about 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago. Yeah, this is just such an invasion. I mean, just think of all the greatest inventors of our time. Imagine if those individuals who, are cerebral thinking, sometimes solutions come in one's dream state, to have that intercepted and stolen just at that aha moment where an individual is going to create, and then it's, oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in. You're so welcome. That was a wonderful testimony. I wish it were all like on one page. Like I had to keep scrolling to, find the information, but absolutely fascinating details that you provided. And mostly because you're obviously a builder. You've lived in the house for a long time. When you live in a house for a long time, you know every little detail about it, especially if you've built it. So you have documented it so well. And I mean, it is interesting because when I moved into this house, um, it was brand new, built by Amish, but it took me a couple of days to actually move into the house. So when it was delivered, obviously I went in, I examined everything, took some pictures. When I moved in, the house was not the way it was when it was delivered. It was completely altered. They completely picked up my entire hardwood floor. It was tongue and groove. I mean, you know what tongue and groove is, right? Where the floorboards fit into each other so that there's a seal. There's no gap in between them. What these criminals did is they lifted up all the floorboards and screwed them down, separated. They were no longer tongue and groove. So not only can dirt fall in there, but air, like cold air, like in the wintertime, and or like what you described as gases. Who knows what they did? But yeah, so my hardwood floor is no longer tongue and groove. I was actually going to lift this floor up because I like a lighter color. I was going to tile the beginning, like when you first walk in. There's no way I could have lifted the floor up without like destroying everything. So please remember to hit the thumbs up. I see there are more people in the chat now. Oh, I'm so glad. Um, I'm so glad. If you have any updates, anybody that has provided me a written testimony, if you ever have updates, I'm more than happy to read your update. I'm going to tell you when they do it, okay? And this is only because I was able to record this both in New Jersey and here in Kentucky. I'm not able to record it anymore because they know that I've recorded it and have discovered it. So now they completely knock me out and disable my cameras. Okay, so let me describe what was going on in New Jersey. I would be in bed, and I had cameras and audio. I had stuff everywhere. I had baby monitors. I had trail cameras, even in my own house. I had security system everywhere. I would be lying in bed, and I would hear this, and I hope you can hear what I'm going to do. I would hear this outside. I would hear several taps as if somebody were chipping away at something outside of my house, and it would stop. And then it would start up again like this. And this would go on for at least a half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour. And it would be recorded. I would hear it. And what they're doing is, because it was so late, dark outside, somebody was actually outside vandalizing my property, but they didn't want any of the neighbors to wake up to hear it. So they would stop. Like it was syncopatic. It was a pattern of knocks. And then in Kentucky here, it was very much the same thing. But the worst part about it is, at least in New Jersey, I had 2-story house. They would be downstairs doing this stuff, and I would be upstairs. Here, somebody was in my kitchen while I was in bed, asleep, in the next room. They were in my kitchen doing this after I moved here. And what they did is I'll tell you what they did. So I had a like a wire rack, a pretty wire. It is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. So I have a wire rack, and it was smooth coated. I can't think about it. I can't. Exactly. I can't think about it anymore because it was driving me crazy. Because just remember, these are cowards. They hide in the dark. They are a group of terrorists. These are psychopaths. These are military. These are psyops. And what this person did in my kitchen was they took my wire rack and they hammered it and gave it a pattern. Instead of it being smooth, they made it hammered. I kid you not. They took a brand new denim jacket. Now, you have to understand, I'm in my 60s, okay? I don't wear clothes with holes in them. Like, I'm not a teenager. I don't wear clothing with holes in my knees. I don't wear stuff like that. I never did anyway. I was never one of those people to wear clothing that anybody else did, okay? So I bought a denim jacket, new denim jacket. It was hanging up here. I go out into town, hours. I come back. They took my denim jacket and shredded it, cut holes in it. They made it look like a teenager's denim jacket. Like teenagers that buy that stuff, like it's already torn up like that and they wear it like that. But this was my new denim jacket that they made to look like a teenager's jacket that was purchased that way. I have photos of what they did to tables in New Jersey. And they would etch things in the table that were like hieroglyphics. But I realized that they're Freemason symbols. And Matson Miles, I did a double take after I looked at your photo of that pan, the drip pan, because on the right hand side, it looks like a Y. I have that symbol everywhere. It's the Freemasons doing that. They always leave their symbols behind. But you can't usually see them to the naked eye. You have to get a magnifying glass and a black light or UV light. And you could find these creatures. Like there was a cloaked person that my camera caught. I couldn't see the person because they were cloaked, but I could see like an aura around them. I use the word aura, but it was like you could see light around them. So so this is what they do. They like to change things. It's like they like to change me. They change my physical body. They change my face. They literally want to take away everything that you are. What makes you unique and different and change you. This is so sick. The only people that think this way are psychopaths and narcissists. That's it. They will end up destroying themselves. Yes, yes. Yes, they were wearing invisibility suit. Yes. Well, I just want to say, before all this targeting and stuff, like I can actually see the aura around people. So, like I was a Reiki master teacher, so I studied for a long time the energy fields and using the energy in my hands to detect disease in others, and you use my hands to heal. And I would see the aura around people, not all the time. Like you don't want to, you actually don't want to, but sometimes like I'd be just sitting like, and it's sort of like I kind of zone out. I'll zone out and I'll look at somebody and I'll see like a halo around them, like I see the light around them. But with these criminals that are cloaked, it's the cameras that catch them. It's the what do you call the light? It's I forget what it's called. You turn it on your cameras and it catches them. I mean, it's the same thing with trail cameras. You'll see them. And plus, I have motion lights outside. Now, granted, like I have raccoons and possums and foxes, um, little animals scurrying around and stuff, and they'll trigger the motion lights. But generally, you'll see an animal after the motion light turns on. But I see motion lights turn on all the time, and there is nobody there. So there's somebody walking around my property setting them off. So anyway, so this I'll read the rest of this. We're not going to discuss the people behind the technology yet, nor their goals. That's for another chapter. Nonetheless, when MKTech is used to neutralize, torture, or murder, their participation is evident. The target's thoughts are forced to pass through numerous subjective filters created by the operators themselves, who respond to every second of the victim's life. Imagine? Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so Cheryl says it pisses me off because if I'm forced to play this game, I'm sick of making it so easy for them. Well, the thing is, you're you. You're living your life as you know how to live your life. And they've been following you and me and other people and know what we're going to do next. These are sick people. Imagine doing this for a living. You wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm going to go to work today and I'm going to listen to the thoughts of that woman that lives in rural Kentucky. I'm going to respond to every second of that victim's life." Thus, their thinking focuses on situations that have great emotional charges, including negative ones. This creates an unprecedented psychophysiological condition. The target is subjected to the judgment and analysis of third parties for every thought, for every millisecond of their existence, for all the thoughts of a single day. For example, deductive thinking, inductive thinking, analytical thinking, which consists of separating the whole into parts that are identified or categorized. Systemic thinking, a complex view of multiple elements with their diverse interrelationships. Critical thinking, routine thoughts, automated thoughts of memory maintenance and creative, philosophical, linguistic, or abstract thoughts. So, in short, all thoughts, either voluntary or involuntary ones, will reach the operator's computers, completely destroying the target's reasoning capacity. Isn't that horrible? It's extremely embarrassing and revolting, and it affects the person physically and psychologically. How did we stray so far to be involved in this kind of sickness? Well, I believe it always existed throughout history, but it wasn't so systemic. And people have become greedier and greedier. I believe that hi Casper, welcome. I believe now for a couple of decades that we are breeding through pharmacology, through technology, we are breeding narcissists. We are breeding psychopathy. And we're breeding it because of the food supply, the forced medication of children falsely diagnosed with all kinds of uh, mental, I hate the word mental illness. I can't stand it. But all of these mental illnesses that have been created that they're inflicting upon children. And the last time I researched, more than 11 million US children are being medicated against their will for some fake diagnosis. If I read the book Psalms, all those prayers are ad libbing. My enemies have surrounded me, yet this program is old. I didn't even know it existed. Honestly, I guess I was one of the dumb population that I just went about my life and my spiritual life. Hi, Stephen. Welcome. We're reading a book. I'm reading a section from a book, MKTech, Invasion and Mind Control, and I'm reading the section on synthetic telepathy and how the target is subjected to the judgment and analysis of third parties for every thought. And all of this reaches the operator's computers, completely destroying the target's reasoning capacity. It's extremely embarrassing and revolting, and it affects the person physically and psychologically. Another creepy characteristic of the synthetic electronic telepathy is its power to drive a person crazy in a short time. And this is why all the trolls will use the word crazy. Have you noticed that? Oh, you sound crazy. Oh, you must be crazy. Because these criminals, these torturers know what they're doing. Imagine being asleep in your bedroom and one of these losers, one of these Freemason military psyops is in your kitchen hammering away at a metal shelving unit for dishes so that they can change it from being smooth texture to a hammered appearance. Imagine. Hi, Lizard Hunter. I've heard that Seattle is like a hot spot for horrible stuff. And the whistleblower, the SIS whistleblower, Brian Coffrin, he mentioned Seattle as being, hot spot. It is straight out of a horror movie. It's worse than, like those old Frankenstein movies. Oh, okay. It's their main base of operations, Seattle. Well, horrible stuff. Horrible. I don't know. It just baffles the mind. And the thing is, I mean, who would have thought like the military is involved in this? I don't know. He disappeared. Well, you don't blame him because a lot of times when these high level whistleblowers, he was a high level whistleblower. They will disappear to protect their family and protect themselves. I believe that might not even be his real name. That's what somebody told me. That might not even be his real name. So even, the FBI whistleblowers, Stephen Friend and the Kyle Seraphin, they've got their own YouTube channels and stuff. They're not necessarily talking about what they did back then, but they're still around. They're young people, but some of the whistleblowers do disappear. We don't know if they're like disappear because they're not around anymore, or if they just remove themselves from the public. But he provided like really important testimony. If you could remember to hit the thumbs up, that would help. The initial feeling of having your internal thoughts being collected and the difficulty in controlling what you think, exposing all of your cognitive intellect, shakes the strongest of human beings. That's why this is one of the main foundations of the mind control technology. No, Casper, no, I don't know who Allie Carter is. Who's Allie Carter? Is Allie Carter a targeted person? Oh, oh, the diddler guy. Yeah. She mentions that doesn't surprise me at all because I think most of those celebrities, I have to tell you that I do believe that some of the celebrities that I was involved with years ago may have also targeted me in this program because of an incident that I had with one of them. Everything changed after that, and then the whole group that I was involved with started acting like perps, but I didn't know what perps were back then. So these celebrities are absolutely involved in targeting stuff, and it would not surprise me at all. Yeah, I really do think it's possible. I think about it. You know, I, people always say like my old friend Suan, when I showed her all the evidence on my computer and stuff after my house was broken into, and she turns to me after she viewed everything, and she turned to me. She says, "Well, who did you piss off?" And at that moment, I'm thinking, "Oh, damn! Like I've pissed off so many people in my lifetime. It's like it's not just one person, but I've had so many people piss me off too." But I definitely think that it could have been a couple of those people. I'm not involved with them anymore. They were celebrity narcissists. They're highly intelligent. They're all involved in astrology, and all of that stuff. And there was this one woman who was involved with them, who was a former lawyer, I believe was a witch. So Casper says, when one sees themselves as separate from society for any reason, but especially if they see themselves as superior and outside the law, then over time there are a few taboos. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, these celebrities do feel themselves above the law because they're catered to, they're held up on a pedestal. People open doors for them. They have a lot of money. That's the message they like to message you, that you pissed off people. Well, do you have any imagine how many people have pissed me off? But I don't really care. Like if somebody pisses me off, right? If I like them and they piss me off, like, we'll have a conversation. If I don't like somebody who pisses me off, I won't have anything to do with them. I won't. I don't care. Maybe when I was younger, I cared more. Maybe I was more sensitive. Yeah, Diddy got away with it because he was protected till he screwed over that liquor company, and then they threw him to the wolves. Well, I've never really followed the guy. Like when people would talk about him in the past, he just looked like a bastard to me. He looked like a creep. He looked like a bastard. He looked like he was entitled. He looked like he was a spoiled brat. He looked like a womanizer. Like, I have no interest in celebrities that are like him. And then, he was involved with J Lo. I mean, give me a break. Well, she was involved with everybody. So, what? Um, I don't know. He's just. I don't. I don't even find him attractive. You got to crash. I know. I got a crash course on him too. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Like channels. BJ investigates. She is a former lawyer from New Jersey, Princeton, and she's got a channel. She's quite unique channel, but she investigates a lot of celebrities, and she's been talking about him. She got targeted actually. You watch her? Yeah, she got targeted back in New Jersey after she exposed what was happening to Britney Spears. She found out that Britney Spears' manager was stealing all this money from her. And then she got targeted through her law firm and she had to quit. Yeah, she wears the little pink, big bunny ears. Yeah, the little ears. See the little pink ears. Yeah, she's hilarious. But she's very smart. Like, she's super smart. She's on the ball. Yeah, she disclosed her real name once and I looked it up. Like, she is like super smart. She went to a great school. She grew up in a good home, like a. But if you want to experience some relief, it might be worth a shot. What? So, do you have some advice, Casper? Does anybody have advice on how to stop them putting you to sleep? I mean, my tinnitus is like really loud, and I think they do something with the tinnitus to put me to sleep at times when I don't want to sleep. Oh, okay. So, continuing on this page 91, bear in mind that V2K, intracranial voice or voice to skull, alone has the potential to cause major damage to a person's mental and physical health. Syntel, synthetic electronic telepathy, however, reaches another level in terms of torture and violation of the human being's cognitive privacy because the voices are no longer just used to make random noises in the voice in the victim's auditory cortex in order to deprive the targeted primary sense of natural attention. Okay, yes. So what they're saying is for voice hearers, it interrupts your primary sense of natural attention. So whatever you would normally be paying attention to, you're constantly being interrupted. Oh, you're getting those kind of words? Oh, please. Well, unbelievable. It's just horrible. Should Casper saying, should I sleep? I'm woken in massive pain with attempts to put me in a bad mood. So I have to overcome it every day at least once. Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I would say that almost every targeted person will say that they are sleep deprived. I don't think I've had more than 4 hours of sleep since I left New Jersey. 4 hours straight since I left New Jersey. At least in New Jersey, I would get 6 hours of sleep. The voices interact within the mind, responding to the target's thoughts. So the sadistic operators, see, there you go, the sadistic operators behind the analysis of these thoughts play, make fun, bully, disrespect, and harass the strictly private cognitive processes of human beings, in addition to following some torture rules and protocols adapted for MKTech, as we're going to see as we progress in this obscure technology. Oh, that's horrible. Just horrible. Oh my goodness, it's just so horrible. Some authors, for the understanding of the reader who has never been in contact with MKTech, like to make an analogy between synthetic electronic telepathy and the magic phone. That is, one can call anyone's mind anywhere in the world and basically say what one wants. The thoughts of the person who answered this magic phone would be the equivalent of the voice on the cell phone. But with an important difference, the phone cannot be disconnected, which keeps the caller in complete anonymity with unrestricted access to all functions of the receiver's quote unquote phone. It's a good analogy for us to begin to understand the power of this technology, except, of course, that magic phones don't exist. Not only the violation of thoughts and the incessant noise in the victim's head, which is already a very serious transgression, but the most worrying thing is the way in which synthetic electronic telepathy uses its own communicative essence against the brain. The shortcuts used to perform, streamline, and interpret the communication process, the way small cortical processing units interact with each other for this purpose. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they do poison food. They've actually put glass in my food. Little tiny pieces of charred glass. Yeah, I just have very loud tinnitus. Like it gets louder certain times of the day. Yeah, I don't eat out. I would probably eat out a little bit more if there was any place close by that offered like healthy food, but there's nothing like that nearby. There's no healthy food around here. And two, there's just nothing close by. The words sent to the target's mind can mimic their internal voice, accessing memories or activating negative reactions, diverting attention in all activities, suppressing other external stimuli, and forcing the target to maintain total focus on the subject at hand. It makes it impossible to inhibit intrusive thoughts, leading to a state of acute stress, usually for long periods of time. In addition, it forces the target to get used to all mental resources to fight the theft of thoughts and to defend themselves internally from invaders in a naturally instinctive way. Sintel, employed as torture and theft of thought, harms the formation of thought itself as it fixes the victim's thinking on a subject with a lot of emotional charge associated in a systemic way. It even damages the process of creating and fixing memory, since the constant flow of information will be assimilated exclusively on the content of the attack and the impossibility of turning it off. Oh, yeah, that's so horrible, Casper. I'm sorry to hear that. It's probably good to eat like anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, ginger, garlic, and stuff like that. It's just horrible. It's just everybody gets horrible things happening to them, and it affects everybody differently. We're all different individuals. We have different ages, different health to, to begin with, different predispositions. Yeah, blueberries are yummy. You have fruits and vegetables, a broccoli, cruciferous vegetables. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. I don't know. It says that there are 19 people. Yeah, the problem is like with the radiation and stuff, it causes inflammation. It causes inflammation in the body where normally it wouldn't be there. So it's like we have to fight extra hard because they're altering our natural chemistry. They're deliberately altering it. I wonder how they would feel if this were turned on them. If this were happening to them, would they care? Operators can find a topic that causes deep sadness, resentment, regret, anger, or any self destructive emotion and ruminate on this subject as much as necessary. They can keep the individual focused only on that content, which in a normal situation would be suppressed in the target's memory. Social and family problems, subsistence issues, that is, intrinsic problems in human coexistence, produced by our social fabric, are used by operators to incessantly attack targets, imitating the target's natural internal voice, as well as activating it, creating access to thoughts and memories, exposing its contents completely, activating the mental circuits that process this information automatically and involuntarily, are periodic actions that are part of an efficient cycle of degrading attacks. Yeah, they would. They are cowards. Imagine going into somebody's house and turning their denim jacket into something else. I washed my nightgown, and I mean, it's a fairly new nightgown, and the bottom was missing two buttons. And I looked at it closely, and they were literally torn off. And one of the buttons was placed on the floor of the laundry room. So I picked it up, I brought it into my bedroom. I didn't know at that time where it went. So I put it on the shelf. I figured, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out where it goes. I go to uh, put my pajamas on last night, and I noticed that it's the two bottom buttons on my nightgown. They literally tore them off. So I was going to sew one of the buttons back on that I found. They stole the button, even that I found. Let's see. Yeah, I seen your laundry video when they ruin your new. Oh, my clothes are horrible. What they do to my clothes, it reminds me of like they're using some chemical on my clothes. It's not bleach. It's some kind of weird heated chemical. I've thrown so many clothes out that are new. I mean, literally from socks to panties to bras, t-shirts. sweatshirts, jeans, whatever it is, every piece. Handbags, they disintegrated some of my handbags. So Ace of Cups is saying this may be part of the reason why we don't hear anything about what they are actually up to. They're subject to it, or they are implicated by it. Well, just think about this. If they say something to you or any targeted person directly, and you've never spoken to them about the subject, at that moment, you could literally, they implicate themselves at that moment because you could directly ask them, well, where did you receive that information from? I've never discussed it with you. Did anyone hear they are watching us on TikTok? Uh, I don't know. How could they watch us on TikTok? But it certainly is possible because I'll tell you that I guess a few weeks ago I posted 2 videos. I don't post there nearly as often as I do on YouTube because on TikTok people don't like to watch long videos. And most of my videos are more than 10 minutes long. So, but I posted a couple of videos and they immediately came down. I don't know if it was an algorithm. I don't know if somebody tagged them. They immediately came down. And they were just benign, just so benign. So Cheryl says, I heard that not long ago. I always wondered where they are picking us up on video, removing TikTok videos. Yeah, 2 of my videos, well, more than 2, just taken down. And it makes no sense at all. I was actually reading from a book. And then I appealed it. I said, I'm reading from a book written by a doctor. Nope, they took it down. Appealing it made no difference. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, that's what some targeted people have said. Like, I don't go into Discord or any of those groups. I don't have time. I have no interest. But some targeted people have said, some who are gamers who like to play the games and stuff, that there are actually sites set up where they stream targeted people. I don't know of a targeted person that has actually located videos about themselves, but I can attest to the fact that I had a cyber stalker here on YouTube that had the audacity to take a photo of me from years ago and create a video about me, called me a witch. He stuck me on a broom, put it on his Facebook, his YouTube channel, had all his little perp friends comment on it. Let's see. I Matt and Miles says, I don't get food out unless it's a surprise to even me, and I change my order on the spot, usually getting something I wouldn't want on the spur of the moment and never repeated places often. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Ace of Cups says, my video would bore them to death. I don't know. I live a pretty boring life, too. I mean, I spend my mornings taking care of animals, cleaning chicken coops. So much fun. Kessler says, the thing worse than having videos made of you is not having videos made of you. Oscar Wilde, if he were alive today. Cheryl says, Ace of Cups, same here. It's not like they can get any naked footage of me anymore. It's not like they can get any footage of me having sex anymore either. I know, there's none of that happening anymore. Why live stream my boring life? That's hilarious. Yeah, I know. Well, I've even said it on my channel, like, I haven't had sex since I left New Jersey. And there isn't anybody around here I would remotely even be interested in. Yeah. Well, no, I would never get any kind of delivery here. Like I have to tell you that I have not had like a slice of pizza, no Chinese food, no Thai, no Japanese food since I left New Jersey. It's horrible. Like I live in the middle of nowhere and I just eat like regular food. Oh my. I hear you guys. It's funny. Well, we can't be too graphic here because they tube. I never know what it is that they tube will take down and what they won't take down. I don't know. I don't smoke, drink, or do drugs. I live a very boring life too. The excitement, my excitement over the last couple of weeks is I found. I ordered from Misfits Market and I found vegan chocolate cupcakes. Lorraine, you should see if you could meet some. Oh, I'm sure there are plenty around here. Oh goodness. Actually, I'm like definitely a fish out of water here. There isn't anybody around here that I remotely relate to. Aside from the fact that, the local neighbors are criminals. Their priorities are all screwed up too. Ace of Cups says, if watching me create vocabulary worksheets gets them off, well, then they're sicker than I thought. So I'll read a couple of more paragraphs and then I'll probably end. So he goes on to say the brain constantly works with the internal voice for various purposes, including access to memories and their content. In the process of describing something, a situation from the past, or an automatic response to a question, the vocalization of thought is used constantly to coordinate data and prepare the thought to be expressed aloud following a line of reasoning. We need the vocalization of thought to talk, to request a subject, and to use it in a conversation. When this process is violated and exposed, it causes an extraordinary negative impact for the individual. This internal voice isn't usually expressed in behavior. We just keep it silent in our cognitive inner self. In the chapter in which I present the EMR, electronic mind reading, I listed several serious consequences for society and for the individual using only the remote reading of thoughts, in which both vocalized thoughts and images were sneakily stolen without generating reactive behaviors from the individual being injured. Now, with the complete two-way communication cycle, operators, so he calls them operators, like I call them criminals, he calls them operators, are able to stimulate the brain, listen to the target's reaction, and continue to adapt the subject until the goal is achieved, be it torture, triggering memories, accessing hidden mental data, discovering secrets, generating negative physiological reactions, or simply enjoying another's suffering. Along this path, we can point out other serious consequences for society as a whole. So the question remains, what would you do if you had these weapons in hand and you could hear the thoughts of anyone on the planet? Honestly, I could care less. Would you contain your curiosity to violate the privacy of others? The operators behind the technology have no qualms about it. The power to communicate with a person's mind at a distance, silently, consensually, or otherwise, opens up several possibilities that are unprecedented in history. I'm going to list some of them, and I ask you to do a mental exercise yourself. See if the infinite possibilities of using this technology for peaceful and beneficial purposes, or for war, chaos, or pain. It's used to defraud civil service competitive examinations. Delicate and complex subject that requires a separate chapter, which is contained in volume 2 of this book. So I'm going to end reading here. It's just too disturbing. Honestly, reading this book really disturbs me. So I have to do it in small little pieces here. So let's see, Cheryl, what is the general nature of? They are perverts. I call them pops. Perverts on patrol. Predators on patrol. Perverts on patrol. Ark is a YouTube channel. His followers call themselves errants. We don't like Gov. He has a lot of subs. You should be able to find someone close. Degenerates. Yeah, perverts and degenerates. Are those like those groups of people they call themselves incels? They're the boring nerds, socially inept that don't have sex because nobody wants them. Nobody finds them appealing. And they sit around complaining about it in a group. Involuntarily celibate. Well, I don't know if it's involuntary. I don't know about that. That's what they claim. But I've watched a couple of videos about these people. I mean, they're younger people, and I find them to be totally unappealing on some level. I don't know what it is. There's something missing, and it's not like that they're totally unattractive. They're plain, but they're not doing anything to make themselves appear sexy. Oh, my neighbors. Oh my God. Yes. 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 My neighbor. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Oh yeah. I did not even know what these incels were. It just pops up on my YouTube feed. It just amazes me. It baffles the mind that something like that could be referred to me. Yeah, they've been quiet. Everybody's been a little quiet lately. Ever since Scarlet got called out here, Scarlet, the Scarlet Letter, it's been a little quiet. It's a long story, but he is a chronologist. He's very smart. Found the government changed our history. And just go listen to some of this. So what? I'm going to have to go find this before we have too many comments here. It's called AR. Let me just copy. Arctics. Let me go bookmark it. 1 second. I found it. Oh, wow. Okay, so he streamed 9 hours ago. Let's see. I'll post a link. Second. Uh, yeah, he does have a lot of subscribers here. Let's see. Well, I'll subscribe, and I could always unsubscribe if I'm not interested. Let's see. This looks like a lot of stuff like I don't even want to delve into. Oh my goodness gracious. If you want to be in a bad mood, watch some of these videos. I don't know. This is, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Yeah, the way the channel is described is every mystery and enigma of the ancient world and today is explained in simulation theory. While this phenomenon is approached from the vantage point of our sciences today, Arcakes is thus far the only source for demonstrating the artificiality of our holography from the chronological and traditional histories. We live within the simulacrum, and the evidence of our contained existence is everywhere. Our world is not what you think. Well, that's for sure. I don't know. It was fun being, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? Oh, goodness. Oh, that was horrible. The Halloween Direct TV prank gone wrong. Well, that was quite a lot of evidence they left behind. Like, that was quite foolish on their part. This is how bold and brazen they are. But I didn't mention it yet because I'm still processing and I'm going to have to revise my letter. But yeah, I wrote to a senator last night. I got fed up. Yes. Well, yeah, they're writing exactly. Exactly. Just they leave so much evidence behind. Yes. I have so much evidence of being harassed. Um, like I said, I wrote to a senator last night, and I described only a small portion of what's happening here. And it was basically in a follow up to the complaint that I filed with the Attorney General last year, to which I received no response. So I followed up saying that I have not received a response from the Attorney General or the Criminal Investigations Division. And then I provided an update on what's been happening since I followed that complaint, since I placed my house on the market, including the fact that I hired a realtor who was obviously coerced into not selling my property. And no, I'm not going to stay quiet about this. This is really bad stuff. I sort of wish I had this part of you. Um, which part? What? I don't know what you mean, but so and I'm not going to stop. That's what I do. I write letters. I'm a letter writer. I like to file complaints, and like I said, if I were in New Jersey, I would have sued the Manalapan Police Department. Casper says, I focus on serenity and not allowing what they do to get to me, and it's a smashing success so far. Well, I have to tell you, like during the day, like I'm literally so busy in the morning with the animals. Oh, the fight back part. Well, see, that's okay. How do I phrase it? Like I'm literally a peaceful person. Yes, Tulsi Gabbard. Oh yeah, yeah. She's next on my list to contact. I'll definitely be contacting Tulsi because now she knows what it feels like to be a targeted person and be placed on a list. Yep. Yeah, I will be contacting her. I just have to perfect my letter, my complaint. So yeah, I'll be filing the complaint that I filed last night. I'll be updating it. I'll be sending it to the governor. I'll be sending it to more Congress people. I'll be sending it to Department of Justice. Yes, Elon. Oh, I'm definitely going to be contacting Elon. I'm absolutely going to be contacting him. Yes, I've said that before. They Ace of Cups says they mess with the wrong one when they put you on their list. Well, they did. And now they're targeting like my throat, the back of my tongue and stuff. Yes, I'm so looking forward to Tulsi Gabbard. I was so upset when Matt Getz backed down. Oh man, he was like a pit bull. Like I was so happy. Never so happy that a politician got elected to do something when Matt Getz and Tulsi Gabbard were assigned. And then when he backed down, they did exactly what they did to him what they do to everybody. They pull the pedophile, they pull the drug addict, they pull the sex parties. That's what they pull. That's like they pull the ditty. They pull the ditty on Matt Getz, and then he backed down. Oh goodness. Yes, yes, that does work actually. And what's great is YouTube has a lot of chiropractors and meditation and stuff like that that you can do. And I found this great music. YouTube recommended it to me. I don't know. I don't want to get a strike. Let's see. Okay, so news. I just got news here 17 minutes ago. Rioters take over and destroyed a major city. Multiple arrested. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. And anybody that doesn't know, do you know Dr. Millicent Black? She's on a lot of the conference calls. I think she's got her own conference call. But I received a message the other day that Dr. Black complained that she was having some stomach pains. Now, of course, when you're a targeted person, they can cause the stomach pain. So you never know if what you're feeling is organic or contrived. I mean, sometimes you know. So she was going to go to the doctor. So she went to the doctor for these stomach pains. They Baker acted her instead. They took her to a psych ward just because she was going to the doctor. So, yeah, so I just received a message about that. Demand Dr. Millicent Black be free from solitary confinement, stop the abuse by psychiatry. Uh, let's see. Oh my goodness. I'm just reading a comment. Um, the testimony that I posted, the response from the TI is, "I'm sorry I didn't ever take the time to cut, paste, and organize all the rambling stories I have been telling in the random emails. They are bits of a long story told in pieces with no certain order or chronological timeline. There are many and worth hearing, but most are not the complete story, only in parts, intended for retelling in comments at a given moment. I have many and should put them together. Unfortunately, I'm even more distracted now than I have been. I'm in the hospital recovering from congestive heart failure and apparently in need of some life changes for my future's continued existence. So here I am. I will move forward from here now." Oh my goodness, I did not know that. I was wondering why I didn't hear from you, and I just posted your testimony tonight, and now you're telling me that you're in the hospital. I'm so sorry to hear that. So I'm glad I posted the testimony. Let's see, I'm just going to read some of your comments. "If you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you do, you're misinformed." Twain. People's lack of discernment. The news preys on people's lack of discernment. The lack of ability to think for themselves. There is, let's see. You know, when I lived in New Jersey, I never listened to the news. I was one of those uninformed people. Not I was just so busy. I didn't really have time to listen to the news. And like I said, I didn't vote. I wasn't political. I had a television, and sometimes I'd listen to some music in the background and stuff. But I always had third party interference on my TV, and I don't have a TV set up here in Kentucky. I never set up a television here. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies except whatever's on YouTube. YouTube is my and TikTok are my total sources of entertainment, except for some books and the guineas and the cats, and the chickens, and of course my neighbors. They're entertainment. I'm just nothing more entertaining than my neighbors. Yes, they are their own comedy channel. That's right. Yes. Yep. Cops, lops, mops, pops, and wops. I know, I know, I know. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. I know. I was thinking that too. Oh, goodness. No, I don't go into town very much. Okay, so town. Okay, I'll describe town. Okay, so you drive about 6 miles. As you're driving there, there is a junk metal place where you go and dump your metal and they crush it and stuff. There is an insurance company. Then there is let's see, there are a couple of convenience stores. There's a car mart. There's the library, a post office, two banks, a couple of grocery stores, a Dairy Queen, Subway, a couple of doctor's offices. I don't drive too much further down. Now, if I were to drive in the other direction, There are different kind of stores there, but before I get to the different kind of stores, it is, oh my God, the way some people live is like ridiculous. Um, just imagine some of those houses where they're hoarders and they collect everything. Not like a targeted person who just has to protect themselves, where they have like everything out on the porch, like 20 refrigerators and like trash, and where the porch is completely filled with garbage. Like, that's so hilarious that you say Green Acres is the place to be. that's that's so funny because when my neighbors drive by, I hum that song to myself. Yeah, a call-in show might be nice. I guess I need to start my own videos. Well, I've thought about it, but in the past, when I've had like a podcast, it gets interrupted too much. So, and then you get these weird people calling in. You've got to disconnect them. It's too disruptive. So, um, Ace of Cups says, I have a friend who is teaching in West Virginia. Her description of the schools there is interesting. I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, down south in particular, there are a lot of families that homeschool their children. A link to a movie about one of her students? Oh my. Is that, are they underage? Like, is she allowed to do that? That might not be a good idea. Oh, the student's family. Oh, the student's family. Okay, that's another. Well, um, there's a channel called the White Underbelly, something White Underbelly, and he does like documentaries in black and white about street people. And he interviewed a family in Appalachia, like up in the mountains here. And I, what can I say? I did not grow up here. I grew up in the Bronx. you know, I grew up in New York, and then I moved to New Jersey, and then I moved here. Soft white underbelly. That's it. The soft white underbelly. Yes. Yes, yes, the soft white underbelly. Very interesting interviews, that's for sure. The Whittakers from Odd, Virginia. Whittakers. Is it on YouTube? Is that movie Wonderful Whites of West Virginia? Is it on YouTube? Ace of Cups? Okay. Yeah, the soft white underbelly has very, very interesting interviews. Well, if you want to email me, you could always email me links to things that you find interesting. But I know that a lot of Southerners like to homeschool their children, and there's a good reason for it. Um, Many of the children, if they're of a Christian background, they don't want their kids in public schools. And honestly, if I were raising young children today, I would not have them in a public school. Oh, you do? You watch it every day? I was watching it for a while, but it's so time consuming. I do like to catch up on listening to, some targeted people's videos. And then, like the one, let's see, this is the one that I listen to every day. One second, because he always brings news. Um, I like to watch a Welcome to the Awakening, Patrick Humphrey. Sometimes I'll watch Valuetainment. Um, and then I watch a lot of like some little technology videos. And then this one, he won a news one, JWTV. And I like to watch Candace Owens too. The movie title might be a little too close to home for you, though. It's about people like your neighbors, but I think they at least have a heart. It's hard to feel any kind of gratitude when you're TI. So when I watch Soft White Underbelly, it gives me the feeling of gratitude when you hear people's stories that are so heartbreaking. Oh, those some of those stories are. I mean, I have to say that I became targeted as an adult. Like I lived my whole life, but some of those people in the targeted underbelly and the soft white underbelly um have been homeless as teenagers, as children, have horrible stuff happen to them. Yes, the inbreeding is a problem. It's a problem everywhere. It's not just a problem in Kentucky or other places, but think about now I call them deletes, but the elites are inbreds. The royal family. These are inbreds. They breed amongst themselves, cousins, sisters, brothers, fathers, uncles, because they want to keep their DNA in the family. But meanwhile, it's not healthy. It's not healthy to do that. Casper says, a grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts it to great things. Well, that's true. One of my favorite books is called Think and Grow Rich. It's like it's a paperback, and it was recommended to me years ago, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. I just start reading, and I'm thinking, wow, like it just kind of opened to my mind to thinking about success in a totally different way. Oh, you belong to the 12 step program? Yes. Did you go through the 12 steps? I actually attended a 12 step program for quite a long time at Naranon. Not because I'm an addict, because I don't do drugs, I don't smoke or drink or do drugs, but I was dating somebody that did. And evidently, I found out that I was some kind of an enabler. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm familiar with the 12 steps also. I actually had two sponsors, a male and a female. And unfortunately, the male sponsor passed away. Christmas mentioned in Matthew chapter 7 tells that none of us are perfect. So, how can we point to the faults of others when we are guilty of the same? Well, nobody's perfect. That's why when I think about this program, about how these morons are targeting us and, laughing and smirking and stuff, um, thinking about what they're doing to us is beyond anything that you can imagine. What they're doing is criminal. They break every law. Let's see, Casper says, the Christians mentioned in Matthew, none of us are perfect. Okay, Cheryl says, Lorraine, you are the poster child. So that is why I refer to channel when trying to explain TI stuff, because you can't be discredited because you don't smoke, drink, or guilty of any damn thing. No, I don't smoke, drink, do drugs. I don't drink soda. I don't take even an aspirin. I'm not perfect in any way, but I live a healthy life. I mean, the worst thing I do is drink coffee and eat chocolate. Those are the two bad things I do. um, but like, and when I lived in New Jersey, it was actually better for me because I was able to go to a gym. I was able to, work out a little bit more. So Casper says it suggests that if we first remove the log in our eye, so we might see better to help them remove the splinter from theirs. Oh no, coffee and chocolate are so yummy. Actually, there are some benefits to both. um, and it's weird because I switched. Like in New Jersey, I was using those K cups, and then I realized like I'm pushing boiling water through this little plastic thing. This can't be healthy. So I stopped using those K cups. I threw away they're so bad. Oh, they're so bad. I haven't used a K cup in, let's see, I'm here almost 6 years, and then in New Jersey probably two, yeah, probably about 8 years. Oh, you hear something in the background? Did it start again? I've heard that kratom is good. I've heard that. I don't use energy drinks though. They're very bad. Yeah, there's on previous lives, there's been some weird guy like with a deep voice talking, yes, like a gurgling in the background. I didn't hear it in the last live, but it was in the two lives before that. There's another person on the line rubbing his mic on something. Oh, maybe somebody's like, I shouldn't say it. It sounds like I'm on a boat. I'm nowhere, no boat here. Let me see. I wonder if I move my phone away from the laptop, if you're picking up something on my phone. Let me see. I recently heard that about coffee, that not all coffee is clean. So I've been buying some organic coffee, and then I also use chicory and the dandelion root. Gurgling, mic rubbing boat. It's the perverts. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yes, yeah. Well, so I see that there are 19 people listening, or at least maybe 19 people listening. It sounds like you could be docked and water is swishing upside your boat sound. Yeah, chicory is really good, and the dandelion, it's called dandy. It's really delicious. It's yummy. Yeah, I stopped using the K cups years ago, and I saved so much money. Oh my goodness, I was spending on the K cups in New Jersey. I was spending like $40 a week on K cups. And then when I stopped buying the K cups, I purchased instant coffee, and the dandelion, dandelion tea is good too. One of my favorite teas is hibiscus. That's yummy tea. It's a little sweeter, um, and I put honey in everything anyway. um, What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I saved so much money when I switched from K cups, and then I started to buy instant coffee, and I would spend like $8 on a jar of instant coffee, and it would last me a whole month. And I was spending $40 a week on K cups. It was crazy. Yeah, the hibiscus is really nice. I like it. Um, I like to add cinnamon to the tea. I have some of the other teas that are like better for me, but they don't taste so good. I still have to mix them with other things. Yeah, hibiscus has vitamin C. Yeah, a lot of these teas are very good for you. They're good for different parts of your body. You have to is getting yeah, it was 32 degrees this yesterday morning. We had snow. Oh, they don't like it. They don't like it at all. In fact, Popcorn, who is like an indoor outdoor cat, as soon as it got cold, he didn't want to be outside. He's been staying in a lot more. Yeah, the dandelion is good for detoxing. Yeah, a lot of the teas are good for detoxing. You have to just drink more of them, but I definitely drink more coffee than tea. Although in the wintertime, I do drink a little bit more tea. I think I hear a raccoon on the porch. We've got like a whole bunch of raccoons here. I feed the fox. I missed seeing the fox tonight. I was busy recording the testimony. Oh, the raccoons, they're fat here. Oh, they can definitely handle the cold. Yeah, they're chubby. They have like a nice warm coat. I have one raccoon I named Cookie because it just kind of begs for stuff. Azumi's indoors. Yeah, he's inside. Yeah, and then we've got possums. I'm not crazy about the possum, but they're here too. Oh wow, yes, I've heard that. The ginger with the turmeric. Oh yeah, they're talking about that like on TikTok. Like mixing ginger, turmeric, and lemon. Or no, or vinegar, apple cider vinegar that you'll just lose weight. Yeah. What? What? What is that? Black sludge. What is that? Is that like that black goo stuff? Method of extracting the black sludge using an electronically excited. How do you electronically excite a bucket? I don't know. Microbots. This some of this stuff is just so disgusting. I can't even believe that people produce this nonsense. Oh, wire. See, I'm not. I don't sit around making this stuff. I mean, I appreciate what other targeted people do about creating these Faraday boxes and cages and stuff. Um, or maybe it's just I don't live near Home Depot anymore where I can just go in there and buy like stuff. I have to order stuff on eBay and Amazon. Yeah, I know that the that guy Onion Head Andrew, he's got a video where he takes like a regular box fan and he takes a copper wire and wraps them around the blades, and he says that That helps like ionize the air. He said that you could do it to ceiling fans too. Yes, yes, yes. Robert Kennedy Jr. Yes. Oh, and just as an FYI, Robert Kennedy Jr. created a website where you can propose bills or topics that you want addressed um, while he's there. So a lot of people have been posting questions and topics. Now I don't remember what it was, what the website was. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to look for it. One second. I'm on the mailing list, so I get an email about it. Website. Let's see. Yeah, it's Make America Healthy Again. Make America Healthy Again. One second. Let's see. No, this isn't it. Let's see. This isn't it. It was a different website. Um, uh, uh. Let's see. Um, I'm not finding it right now. I'm not finding it right now. But anyway, now it sounds like those look out for Charlie noises in the background. Well, that's so interesting. He actually contacted me a couple of days ago. Darth Vader. It could be like the fan in my laptop is broken. So I mean, it might be that. But if you're hearing words, that's some criminals in my laptop or in the YouTube software. Hammerhead. Oh, you hear words, literally words. Yeah. Well, it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I've got to go check on my kitties. So I appreciate everybody joining in the chat. I hope everybody's going to have a good rest of the night. And if say hi to Zoomy for you, I will. Yeah, my cats. Let me tell you, like they're not happy because it's not nice out. Like I open up the door to their building, and they want to come out, and then they see what the weather's like, and they go back in. So like they're not happy. um, no sounds. It sounds like words for sure. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And please, everybody, listen to the testimony that I posted just before I started the live. So it's really fascinating. And there are a couple of photos there, and I will be posting some of those photos on the community page under the post section so you could see the photos better. So have a great night, everybody. I'm going to end the live, and I'll talk to you soon.